Tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
Sí, sí, sí.
Cabrón.
Okay.
No suffer.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez have once again proven to boxing fans that their potential September showdown is truly the fight of the year. While Canelo is scheduled for a May fight, expected around the Cinco de Mayo weekend, it's his matchup against Crawford that's taking all the attention.
Este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi...
Crawford, along with the former undisputed champion from Omaha, Nebraska, has had several discussions with Saudi boxing mogul Turki Al-Sheikh. Beyond these meetings, things have heated up with some intense exchanges between the two fighters. The fans crave as much drama and intensity as possible, and Crawford and Canelo seem ready to deliver exactly that.
I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that
It was reported this week that the fight between the 2 pound 4 pound stars has been agreed upon and will take place in September. However, there's still speculation that it could happen as early as May. Saudi businessman Turki Al-Sheikh has been central to the negotiations, aiming to finalize what could be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Canelo was initially hesitant about facing the 37-year-old Crawford, but it seems the Mexican champ has now had a change of heart and is preparing for the challenge.
A small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
In an interview with a respected boxing website, the 34-year-old Canelo said he's ready for the fight but expressed that he won't get much credit for it. "I admire Crawford. He's a great fighter, no disrespect to him," Canelo said. "But it's a bit strange that people talk so much about a smaller fighter like Charlo, who's bigger than Crawford, and now everyone's saying I should fight a guy at 147. It makes no sense, but in boxing, you never know. I fight anyone, anytime. If the fight happens, it's possible."
A fighter at 147 who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say.
Canelo echoed similar sentiments in another interview, saying, "I think Crawford's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it would be an easy fight. Easy money, if the price is right. I don't typically like fighting guys like Crawford because he moves a lot, and it's not always the most exciting. But I saw Crawford's last fight, and he didn't move as much, so if the money's right, I'm in."
First, what did you think of his performance versus Berlanga?
I think he put on a great performance, like he always do. Canelo is Canelo.
Crawford is eager for the fight, calling it the biggest fight in boxing today. He believes it could be a landmark event. "It would be huge. You've got two of the top 3 pound 4 pound fighters going head-to-head," Crawford said. "I know Canelo's bigger than me, but I'm up for it. It's all respect, and if he wants to fight, it will be an exciting matchup."
Berlanga on a tremendous show as well. He showed a lot of heart and grit and determination as well, and that made for a great fight.
Crawford admitted that facing Canelo will present challenges. "I'll have to be aware of his size and power," he acknowledged. "But I've fought bigger guys my whole life, and I'm confident I'll win. There's no doubt in my mind I'll beat anyone who steps into the ring with me."
Come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight,
What makes a potential Canelo-Crawford fight especially meaningful is the fact that both fighters are nearing the end of their Hall of Fame-worthy careers. At 34, Canelo has been in the ring for nearly 20 years, with a 60-2 record, including some controversial bouts, like his 2 fights with Gennady Golovkin. Crawford, at 37, has never lost a fight in his 41-bout career. A Canelo-Crawford match makes sense now, as fans are wondering what's left for both men to prove.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us.
Both Crawford and Canelo have been undisputed champions in an era where such feats are rare. Canelo has had several major bouts, including memorable fights against Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather. Meanwhile, Crawford entered the world of super fights in 2023, delivering a dominant victory over welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. The two would likely face off with Canelo at super middleweight, a significant weight jump for Crawford, but one that would make for a historic clash in boxing.
Pelea por cualquiera de las dos vías y después de eso pues ver qué es lo que viene, pero Saúl está para pelear con el que sea.
Canelo's ready to fight whoever it might be, but right now we are squarely focused.
Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, has mentioned potential opponents for Canelo's Cinco de Mayo fight, with names like William Caveman Smith and Christian Billy coming up. Still, it's Crawford who is getting the most attention, and fans hope for no injuries or delays for Canelo as he prepares for this potentially generational showdown.
Ánimo, güey, Eres más joven que él, Saúl, Eres más joven que él, hay que aprovechar eso, hijo,
Canelo comes over the top with an overhand right, lands right to the left.
The partnership between Canelo Álvarez and Eddie Reynoso is one of the most successful and enduring in boxing history. It began in 2003 when a 14-year-old Canelo walked into Don Reynoso's gym in Guadalajara, Mexico. At the time, Eddie was just 27 years old. Canelo's potential, due to his power and skill even at such a young age, was immediately recognized by Eddie's father, Doncho. Over time, Canelo's relationship with Eddie grew beyond that of a traditional trainer-fighter dynamic, evolving into something much closer to a father-son bond. Reynoso played a crucial role in honing Canelo's boxing skills and guiding him to become one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Under Eddie's direction, Canelo captured multiple world titles across various weight classes, establishing a legendary career.
Así, güey. Póngase bien. Listo, cabrón. Chile huevos, cabrón. Siéntase, mijo. ¿Qué acabó?
Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he would face against Canelo, admitting that size will be a key factor in the fight. Despite this, he remains confident in his ability to overcome the challenge and impose his boxing style. Some analysts have expressed skepticism regarding Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight, partly due to his last fight, a points victory over Israel Madaleno at super welterweight, which didn't showcase the dominance many expected.
Ya está, ya. Mijo, siguen 3 rounds, hay que hacerlo con velocidad, con inteligencia, güey. Sí. ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Te lastimó?
The hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was gonna beat Spence. It's real simple. Real simple. You just gotta know boxing in order for you to be able to say it.
Despite these concerns, the potential fight between Canelo and Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans. The blend of power, speed, skill, and intensity from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo Álvarez has made it a tradition to fight twice a year, once in May and again in September, around the weekend celebrating Mexico's Independence Day. Since 2020, he has scheduled his bouts during these months, and it's expected to continue. The intrigue now lies in determining who his next opponent will be, especially with the lack of interest in facing David Benavidez, the mandatory WBC 168-pound challenger. Terence Crawford is emerging as a strong option for Canelo's first fight of the year. However, this match seems more like a media event than a competitive showdown, considering Crawford fights at 154 pounds, 2 categories below Canelo's weight class. Despite this, both Canelo and his promoter, Turki Alalshik, are working to convince Canelo to take the fight, with Canelo reportedly asking for $150 million for the bout. While the fight against Crawford may seem less compelling in terms of competition, other intriguing options remain for Canelo's 2025 ring return. Another name being floated is undefeated 29-year-old French fighter Christian Billy, 28-0, who recently defeated Sergey Durov in his last outing and could be a contender for the WBC title. Another potential opponent that had been considered, though it seems unlikely, is William Zepeda, 23-0, the IBF challenger who had his opportunity to fight Canelo taken away when he was stripped of his undisputed status after refusing to fight Cuban fighter William Skull.
Are we still waiting for that second fight to happen?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They still got to go, got to work things out and see where they go from there. You know, what's up?
Some of these dudes don't think that they can get a shot at Bud after, with the belt not even being on the line. Is that a fight that...
Been making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather.
A potential Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Crawford fight is one of the biggest matchups that could be made in boxing right now. With Saudi Arabia's growing influence in the sport, it seems more likely than ever. Robert Garcia spoke about Canelo having an edge over Crawford and also discussed Crawford's situation. He clarified that if Crawford doesn't get a fight with Canelo soon, the Omaha boxer may decide to retire. Crawford is a smart man, Garcia said in an interview with Fight Hype. He's already achieved everything he wanted. He's done a lot in the sport and doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. I've spoken to him directly, and my feeling is that he wants that big fight with Canelo. If he doesn't get it, he might never fight again. Garcia pointed out that there are still many potential opponents for Crawford in the junior middleweight category if he decides to pursue them. The most attractive option is WBC and WBO champion Sebastian Fundora. Other potential fights could be with IBF champion Jermell Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., or Xander Zayas. However, Garcia emphasized that Crawford, with his undefeated record and stellar career, has nothing left to prove. He doesn't need to fight just to please the fans or anyone else, Garcia explained. If it were about money, Crawford wouldn't need to fight again. He's taken care of his fortune and investments. The only reason he would come back is for that big fight against Canelo to cap off his career.
Why would he call up Benavides when he's calling out Canelo knowing that he's going to make double the money?
Because he wants to fight at 68, that's why.
So that's why, Eddie. You don't know why. You know why. He wants to make the biggest fucking payday.
Does he have a chance in the fight?
Everybody has a chance, but I think he'll put up some good rounds. I think he loses.
Should the fight between Crawford and Canelo take place, Garcia believes Crawford can compete with Canelo for several rounds, maybe not enough to win, but enough to earn respect from both Canelo and the public. I think Crawford could give Canelo some competitive rounds, Garcia said. The first 6 to 8 rounds would be very competitive. Crawford has skills, great speed, and power that could earn Canelo's respect. But in the end, Canelo is just too big and strong. For those 6 rounds, though, it would be an entertaining fight. Garcia also shared how he received racist abuse and hateful messages for picking Crawford to beat Canelo in what would be a widely anticipated 2025 showdown. I got more racist and hateful messages than you could imagine, Garcia said. Just because I picked Crawford to beat Canelo. Canelo, the 34-year-old unified super middleweight champion, is regarded as one of boxing's biggest names. Known for his pressure fighting, intelligent counterpunching, and iron chin, Canelo's achievements, including becoming a champion in 4 divisions, have made him a legend in the sport. On the other hand, Crawford, at 37, is also a 4-weight champion and the current unified light middleweight champion. His tactical versatility and ability to switch stances have earned him praise, with 41 wins and 31 knockouts. This matchup presents an enticing clash for boxing fans and experts alike, which is part of the reason why Saudi Arabia is eager to make the fight happen. However, as Garcia's experience shows, the hype surrounding the fight can sometimes go too far, as evidenced by the racist and hateful backlash he received for backing Crawford to win.
Canelo is a great fighter, but my eyes tell me he's slowing down a bit. The Canelo that fought Berlanga, that's a public execution. The fact that he let Berlanga go the distance, he let Munguia go the distance, he let Charlo go the distance.
I've had real stalkers who tried to bait me into posting their emails just so they could see their names online. It's the weirdest obsession, straight losers who claim to hate me and don't value my opinion, yet they read my mailbag every week, Edwards shared. What's funny is all Canelo has to do is take the fight and prove me wrong. Fans should be upset with him, not me. Canelo's fans didn't get upset when I picked Bivol to beat him, even though I was wrong, one of the worst picks I've ever made. No shame in losing to Bivol, though. He showed himself to be a great fighter, but not a single hateful email came my way from Russian fans. It's all just absurd. Despite the abuse, Edwards refused to be bullied into backing Canelo over Crawford, should the two meet in the ring in 2025. He had strong words for the trolls in his inbox. Canelo has great boxing IQ and is a powerful fighter. He's even known to regularly spar with heavyweights in the gym. He knows size isn't everything, Edwards continued. He also knows the trouble he had with fighters like Mayweather, Trout, and Lara, athletes with similar styles to Bud Crawford. So, even if you don't agree, keep writing all you want, calling me whatever you want. I'm still picking Crawford to beat Canelo by a close decision. No one's changing my mind.
Put him in their place and he knew he could beat him. He just didn't turn the African gear on. And but I'm stronger than people realize. I'm not saying he's stronger than Canelo, but he's strong enough. It's not a weightlifting contest.
When commenting on next month's undisputed light heavyweight title bout, Tyson Fury shared his thoughts on the potential Canelo versus Crawford fight. Both fighters are great, but if we're talking about Crawford and Canelo, weight is definitely the deciding factor, Fury said. Crawford would have had a better chance against Canelo years ago in a lower division, but at super middleweight, I've got to go with Canelo. This is a tough one, considering the weight differences. Fury also made it clear that Canelo, who has ruled out dropping weight, would have the advantage at 168 pounds. He noted, if it's at 168, I'm going with Canelo. If it were at 140, I'd pick Crawford, but I don't see that happening. Canelo has definitely ruled out dropping any weight. Crawford, on the other hand, seems determined to test himself by moving up to 168 pounds, 4 pounds more than his previous weight class at As Always. For the best updates on boxing news, events, and moments, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss any exciting content. Until next time, peace out.